When I was really young, my family moved from Iraq to protect us from the hostility of the war. My parents already had a strong belief in the God of the Bible, and so they raised my brothers and I in their beliefs to love God. Even so, if you were to ask me what my life looked like 1 year ago, there would be a very big contrast between then and now. I always knew God and went to church, but I was really just a fan of God. I would check off the boxes for prayer and church and go on with my life. My life during this time had a lot of valleys and no mountains in sight. I enjoyed the temporary happiness that the world had to offer. I went to everything or everyone when I had problems before I went to God, if I ever went to Him at all. My life revolved around pleasing my friends and fitting in. If they were doing something that seemed cool, I wanted to be able to do it as well. Even though I knew I was valuable to God, it didn't feel like it was enough. I thought if I was able to please the people around me and show my worth in my achievements, I would be liked, valued. I was making decisions about what I wanted to do for the rest of my life based on what the world thought was successful. My life was a performance. My relationship with God and identity in Him was slowly diminishing. I was placing myself on a pedestal, and I would actually blame God and wonder why there were some moments where He would kick me off my pedestal. It wasn't until June 2015 I realized that I was never going to find fulfillment in people-pleasing, achievements, or popularity. Around that time, I started seeing changes in my brother. He got involved with a community of people who were intentionally following after Jesus, and I noticed his life began to change. I saw he was finding freedom from things that had been holding him down, and he had a lightness to his spirit that wasn't there before. I decided I wanted to check out this community, and after weeks of going with him, I began to crave a life where Jesus was the center of my universe. It was almost like my whole life I had been seeing things in black and white, and all of a sudden there was color. In that moment, I knew that God truly loved me, wanted a personal relationship with me, and I was able to love Him in return. I knew that I had been pursuing a life apart from God, and because I grew up hearing what the Bible said, I knew that my pursuit were keeping me from knowing God personally and finding my real value in Him. Through this community, I learned I couldn't repair my relationship with God on my own. Once I understood that the only way for me to be right with God was to ask Jesus to take the consequences of my mistakes and swap them for His perfection, I knew that it wasn't through my own efforts that I would be freed from my burdens. It was through Christ that I could experience forgiveness for my mistakes and have this true life-giving relationship with God. Since beginning my relationship with God, I know that He genuinely cares and knows me. And because of His death on the cross, I can be forgiven and live a life free in Christ. I no longer turn to temporary things for approval or worth, because I know that my worth and identity lie fully in Jesus and what He did for me. All my bright and shiny actions didn't earn His love. The Bible tells me that God loved me before I had the chance to try and earn it. Life isn't easier because I'm a Christian. I still get upset and hurt. In my head, I know I'm accepted, but in my heart, I need reminding every day. God's grace can handle all of me, and each day He continues to shape my heart as I experience and understand Him and His unchanging love for me more deeply.